XRP, just something about it. The universe has to try to get in our way every single time. We have this historic day today, the launch of the XRP ETF, and it's no different than always. Of course, on launch day, we have turmoil in financial markets with the tech sector and AI trade under pressure. We have Bitcoin selling off, of course, strategy looking like it's got some problems. We'll talk about that later. And then even with XRP itself, you have these big issuers like Grayscale and Bitwise, and they're ready to launch. And somehow Canary Capital leapfrogs all of them. This little issuer here, day one, you're trying to make headlines. You want the biggest and baddest. Forget your BlackRocks and your Fidelities. Just give us a Grayscale or something like that. But no, we get this little tiny issuer, and we still dominate. It was still a very successful day, and there's a lot to be encouraged there. So we'll get into it, but this is nothing new. We always have to deal with this with XRP. It's just the way it is. XRP right now, down on the day. We're at $2.28. And I said before this launch, it's not about the hype. It's not about the event. It's the fact that now people are going to have access to XRP that they did not have before. And it's the cumulative effect of billions of dollars in inflow over time that really matters. And don't forget, it's not just this one ETF. There's bigger ones coming that are going to have a lot more publicity and bring a lot more inflows over the long haul than just Canary Capital. But look, they did a great job. They got a lot done here. Let's look at the specific numbers here. We see congrats to XRPC. So that's the actual ticker here for the spot ETF. 58 million in day one volume, the most of any ETF launched this year, barely edging out BSOL, that's Solana's spot ETF that had 57 million on day one trading as well. The two of them are in a league of their own over third place, which is 20 million away. So, again, it's not totally a fair comparison because there's a lot of turmoil out there today in financial markets. And further, we have a much smaller issuer here for this ETF, and it still was a really, really successful day. And it just shows there's broad demand out there for cryptocurrencies. It doesn't just stop at Bitcoin and Ethereum, going on down the list. And I think it's just going to continue to grow. So this was a successful launch. Canary Capital, they did good. And look, they jumped ahead of the bigger issuers, and they were first to market. We have a lot here to look forward to. Now, when we get into this, it wasn't just that one ETF that launched. 21 shares actually launched two of their own. And these are bundled products. And so you have one that includes Bitcoin. And in that fund, XRP makes 5% of the weighting up there. So every dollar that goes in, 5 cents goes to XRP. Now, that could be a lot of money, though. So don't forget that. This could be a very successful ETF and could add a lot of volume to XRP. But they have another one that excludes Bitcoin. And Ethereum is the top weight in it. But XRP makes up 16.33% of that weighting. So we have two more funds that went live with XRP in there. Of course, we see BNB at 13%, Solana at almost 11%, Doge at 3.3%, and then other tokens like Cardano and Chainlink, etc., make up 7.9. So someone that's like, hey, I don't want to wait through all this nonsense. Just give me some exposure to the broader crypto space. They can buy this fund. Every dollar they put in, 16%, 16 cents on the dollar goes over to XRP. These could be very popular, and it's just another avenue that's going to allow people to invest in this asset class. Now, the Zhao DAO pushing for 1,000 members. Once we get there, we're on our way. We can start submitting proposals, voting, take part in the future of this blockchain. Participate, have a voice. It's $10 for lifetime membership paid in XRP. XRP is the token of the Zhao DAO, and it's all about building the future on the XRP ledger. Take part in that. Link down below, zhaodao.io, and you can go ahead and join as a member. So important. Again, link down below and in the pin comment, zhaodao.io. Now, I saw a couple people saying stuff like this. We see here Novograt saying, how do you turn something from being a token into money? XRP's done it. And you're absolutely right. And that kind of leads into this. We have Matthew Siegel here who's saying, Dear XRP Maxis, I may never understand what your blockchain actually does, but I'll respect the passion required to pretend it does something. Now, yeah, we have blockchains out there that have smart contracts and all this advanced stuff. Great. And XRP Ledger has a lot of that stuff as well. Fine. But the very genesis purpose of a blockchain is peer-to-peer digital money without a central authority. And I added on there at scale because, you can make a lot of payments, cheap payments. You can make money flow around instantly. This is just crypto 101. We don't need anything more than that. We're looking at NFTs, of course, and AMMs and issued assets and stable coins. That's all gravy. If you think about crypto, what it just needs to be is a fair money system that no one has an ability to censor your transactions and you can participate in the global economy without any gatekeepers. It's as simple as that. That's all you need to be a valuable crypto, and that's what we get with XRP Ledger, and then some other stuff stacked on top, some very compelling stuff, and that's what gives us value. It's not hard to understand. People just don't understand it because they try not to, I guess. If you're still watching this video, make sure you subscribe for daily crypto updates. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. Now, look at this. This is interesting. MicroStrategies breaks premium streak, trading below its net asset value for the first time since January of 2024. So this is a problem. Usually, strategy, its stock value trades at a premium to the Bitcoin that it holds, and that streak broke here. And we see just almost a year ago, it was trading at 3.6 times the value of the Bitcoin it held. Of course, they're using leverage. In theory, their Bitcoin holdings are going to grow fast, and so people want to use this as a vehicle to invest in this space to use leverage to effectively acquire more Bitcoin. Well, it ain't going good right now. And so, what do I think is going to happen right here? I think they'll come out of it. I think crypto will rebound. Not financial advice. I can't tell the future. I'm not a huge fan of these digital asset treasuries, especially ones that use infinity debt to fuel their operations. Don't forget, he has to pay out dividend payments to people. He has very little cash flow coming into this company. Like, I think it's going to run into a buzzsaw eventually. And the problem is, you can't hope for the day that Bitcoin just runs up and then he cashes out because, when times are good, it's trading at a premium and it's going to wreck him if he sells his Bitcoin. So there's not really any good way out of this, unfortunately. And so I think someday you're going to see this where it starts trading at a steep discount. They're saying, look, if he has to sell Bitcoin to meet cash flow needs here, well, that's problematic because you also have a tax effect here because he's sitting on a lot of gains from his early crypto he bought. So to sell and just to pay your dividends or your operating expenses, whatever your loan payments, if he has whatever he has due here, he's going to hit a big tax problem as well. And so this isn't a great situation. Again, it's one that right now, Bitcoin going up will probably solve, and that's all well and good. But Bitcoin will not go up to infinity. There's always going to be a downturn and a nasty one and a long lasting one. And I don't know how he's going to make it through the next one. The next time, crypto is under serious and long term duress, to me, this is a problem. And we're seeing kind of what that may look like here into the future. I think right now it's going to be short term, but I think that's a preview to what we will see down the road. Cathie Wood, ARK Invest, just bought 242,000 more shares of Bitmine. So again, this is Tom Lee's digital asset treasury. This is the rage right now. Everyone wants this, but with Ethereum, and Tom Lee is going to try to get those staking rewards and really cash flow this thing out. Cathie Wood, a big fan of that. Now, this is interesting. We see when FTX collapsed, the fear and index was around 20. Right now, it's even more fear, extreme fear. And Bitcoin's at 102,000. XRP's at $2.20 something cents, highs it's been in a long, long time. Like, times aren't that bad, and we should recover out of this and just kind of understand where we've come from not that long ago to where we are now. It's a pretty good staging zone for crypto to make a big move here at some point in the future. Markets once again look for one man in his leather jacket to save the market. Let's see what NVIDIA does here. And we know their earnings are going to be great. It's all about the guidance. Can they kind of get people bullish again about AI? Because that's fueling everything. It fuels tech. It's fueling crypto. Are people going to get bullish? Because remember, you had the big shareholder sold off $5.8 billion in NVIDIA shares. It was announced this week. But the bullish side of that is someone stepped in because you don't hit a market sell for a sell of that size. Someone stepped in and bought that much NVIDIA too. So you can look at this in a lot of different ways. SoftBank went ahead and sold that. And I think SoftBank is just going to roll that back into, lower valued AI plays as well. It's not like they're going to take their money and go home. We'll see what happens. And if this starts getting people enthusiastic again about AI, tech, and by association, cryptocurrencies. Lastly, Michael Burry today, he's given up. He rage quit the market, closed his fund. He keeps calling for deep depressions and market crashes, and it just doesn't materialize. And it seems like he's had enough. So that fund is ended. I don't think he's going to retire, moving into other things. But Michael Burry from The Big Short and all that stuff. The guy is just a perma bear, and doesn't seem to be able to get his timing down. He might ultimately be right about a lot of the things he's saying, by the way, but it's all about the timing, and that is the tough part. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.